Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nicole Frolic of Inflexible Me, and today I'm doing something really fun with you guys, like really fun. I've been excited to do this video. I've been wanting to do it for a little bit. Um, as I've been working with tarot, I've been guided by spirit to do a, an additional reading. And when I say that, I mean like create a new spread. And it's called the Timeline Potential Spread. I was guided to offer tarot readings on the channel as well as personals for those of you who are interested in seeing what current timeline you're on and what timeline potential you could be working with. Now, as we know, there are infinite amounts of timelines that we can be working with, and we are constantly jumping in and out of them depending on, our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. So how we speak, how we act, how we think, a lot of that, how we're feeling, a lot of that determines what timelines we're on. And I wanted to do for today a timeline for the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. I want to see what timeline we're currently on. And what one of the potentials is, one of the major potentials that we're working with. Now, with this reading, because it's for the collective, some of you could be working on one of the potential timelines, and some of you could be working on the current one. We're going to take a look and see what comes through and see what guidance we have for each timeline for any of you who are really resonating with that. And we're going to find out, this is to allow us to better understand the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine union, as we know that a major part, I believe, of our ascension process is coming into union within ourselves, of union of ourselves with the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine within us. And if you're looking for a relationship, or you're in a relationship already where you would like to emulate that sort of union, it first starts with you. And as I've always said on this channel, and it's in my book, that everything in our outside world is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So if what's going on inside of us is union within our own masculine and feminine energies, then we are going to have that reflected back out in our own world, perhaps within a relationship, not always just relationship, but divine masculine, divine feminine is all about balance. It's all about harmonizing and coming into the divine oneness of where everything is just synergistically working together. So it could be union within your business. It could be union within your family. It could be union within your friends groups, so many different things. But when you have that union within yourself, you project that harmonization, that balance into everything. And it's a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful energy to have. And so let's find out. We're going to do the masculine and the feminine, and let's find out what current timeline the masculine and the feminine are on. And we're going to pull cards for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And then we're going to look at the potential timeline for both. So let's see here. In this first current timeline, what energies are guiding the divine feminine? What is guiding the divine feminine right now on this current timeline? Transition. Transition. Okay. I'll put that. Actually, let me just fix this a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's find out for the masculine, what energies are guiding the divine masculine right now for this current timeline. Line up. Oh, okay. Communication for my divine masculine. That is governing you. So transition for the divine feminine, communication for the divine masculine. So let's put that over there. And we have, okay. Now I also want to find, discover what energies are working in the potential timeline. What potential timeline energies are guiding the Divine Feminine? What major timeline potential, or potential timeline I should say, are the Divine Feminine working with? What are those guiding energies? What are those guiding energies for the Divine Feminine? I'm going to come in and read all of these in a second. Want to come out. Belief. Belief. Okay. And for the masculine, the Divine Masculine, what guiding energies do they have for the potential timeline? The main potential timeline that they're working with. What guiding energies are there for the Divine Masculine? Oh, romantic love. I love it. Okay. Put that over there. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Put that down. So for the Divine Feminine, transition. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So for the current timeline, the Divine Feminine are working with this energy of allowance, surrender, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy for the feminine. It is, to me, surrender is it's one of my favorite energies of the Divine Feminine, because so much happens through surrender. And as someone who really did not identify with my feminine side growing up for my first 30 years, basically, and I was so into my masculine energy and really did not honor my feminine, I viewed surrender as weak. And when I finally started working with surrender energies, it just, whoa, talk about having the veil lifted. It is just a beautiful energy to work with. So surrender is a theme for the feminine in this timeline. For the masculine, we have communication. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balance exchange. Wow. So the masculine are being asked in this timeline to really process the information that they're getting through their heart, and to not only receive the communication, but deliver that communication information through their own heart. So that is what's kind of going on with the masculine for this current timeline. Now, in the potential timeline for the feminine, oh, look at the number. We've got number 11. Belief. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. So, on this timeline, the feminine are, let me just sit with this for a second, supports. Okay. So the feminine are really being called to, in this timeline, believe in themselves, to really honor what their true gifts are for the collective, really honor the beautiful feminine gifts. You know, the feminine energy is all about the intuition and the communication that comes in through the divine. That is through our feminine energy. The feminine energy is more of the spiritual, and the masculine energy is more of the logical. So in this timeline, the feminine are actually really being asked to believe in themselves so that they can support themselves through these beautiful gifts that they are being given. And then for the masculine here, romantic love for my masculines. But this is like, when I say this, it doesn't mean gender. I want to make that clear. This is not about gender. This is about energy. So for the divine masculine energy, which is really sweet, and this is within all of us, the masculine energy, the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with let me just read this all over again. I've totally bashed it up and I've totally taken away like the beautiful essence of romantic love. So romantic love, starting all over. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. Oh, I love it. Woo! I love it, I love it, I love it. So the masculine are really being guided in that timeline to really work with the conscious lover aspect within them. So really bringing conscious awareness into the experience of love. Not just the carnal, earthly values of love, but transcending it into a much more conscious awareness. So, let's get into the reading. I'm going to be using my my Gateway to the Divine Tarot deck for this first timeline. So we're going to find out. Let me just move these here and create some space. I know I'm going to need some space here, and I just want to. Okay. So for this. Sorry, I'm like, can you tell I'm a little OCD with my, this is how I am with my, with my organizational skills, and certain things I can be a little OCD. So, okay, for the Divine Feminine, can you please give us some information on what they need to know for this transition timeline, And let's see here. Oh. Two of Coins in reverse. So something's out of balance. And out of balance with the coins represent all that is of earth value, like all the earthly things. So maybe perhaps it's the health, it's the home, it's family, business. Something's out of balance for the Divine Feminine. When I say, see here. Something's out of balance for the Divine Feminine in the actual physical here. Something in the actual physical. So in this timeline. Or that's part of, like, it's all about balancing something in the physical. So let's see. Oh. And sorry, it turned around. So this is the Hanging Man. So we have the Hanging Man. Actually, let me do this. So we have the so going within through this transition phase, the Divine Feminine on this timeline are needing to go within. Look at this card here for the mirror with the reflection, taking the mask off so that you can see your truth, you can see who you really are, to see your value, to see your worth in this, on this planet, yes. So I love it that the balancing came in when we're talking about Divine Feminine and masculine energies. I just love it when the twos come up, all the balancing. Okay, so for the feminine on this timeline, this current timeline, really going in, really looking to balance here in the earthly now, perhaps balancing the health. I know that's something I'm currently going through, balancing feminine health to clear the collective. And a lot of that work is happening on the inside. Like, I'm working a lot with frequency, I'm working a lot with the energies, I'm working a lot with my star family, actually. So let's find out, what else does the Divine Feminine need to know about this timeline? Ooh, love it. Oh, to my Divine Feminines. The Divine Feminine energy, this is a very positive thing. This is going to have a very positive, in fact, this is a very positive timeline. This is all about, this energy is aligned right now for it to occur. All of the planets and stars have aligned for this. It is absolutely divine timing. This timeline is the Divine Feminine are on, that we're currently on, is perfectly timed. And it is perfectly timed for a positive outcome. one more card for the Divine Feminine before we go into the Masculine. Divine Feminine. What else do you want us to know about the Divine Feminine? Page of Wands in reverse. So the Page of Wands is all about, interesting. The Page of Wands comes in with really exciting news. There's a lot of passion behind it. And even though, okay, even though this is a very positive timeline, there's very positive things that are happening on the Divine Feminine timeline here, there's a lack of excitement in the Divine Feminine, like really feeling kind of not really taking on that fast energy that the Wands energy has, that fire energy that the Wands carries, that it's more about being in that transition, being in the contemplative place, the reflective place. But as a result, the feminine are kind of feeling like a lack of excitement, or perhaps, you know, there's some heavy energies. There are some heavy energies in the Divine Feminine right now. So that could be due to why there's this feeling like, oh, the news isn't great. The news isn't what I expected. It's because usually when the Page of Wands comes in, it's better than expected news. Like it's like really exciting. So I'm feeling like this is an internalized feeling for the Divine Feminine, of just, you know, because it's some heavy work, So let's find out for the Divine Masculine what their timeline looks for communication here. Working on communicating through the heart, receiving information through the heart, and also delivering information through the heart. Currently what the masculine are working on. What information do you want to show them for this timeline? What does this timeline look like? Queen of Swords energy, but in reverse. So this is very independent energy. She is, the Queen of Swords is sometimes so independent, she's alone. Older energy too, wiser energy. It's all about truths, clarity, but perhaps feeling like you don't have the clarity. Oh, and that's why you're on this communication timeline, is to receive clearer communication. Perhaps there's some miscommunication happening through more of the mind, like the mental aspect for the masculine, and that it's kind of leaving you. It's kind of leaving you feeling really unsure, uncertain, unclear right now. Oh, and okay, because the energies for this timeline are to be done through the heart for the masculine, this is also telling me that this is letting the masculine know that to release the need to think it all through, to think it all through, and to really start working through the heart. So again, I want to make it known that the logical mind is very important. That masculine energy is beautiful. But for the masculine, currently what you're working with right now is kind of releasing that logical thinking so that your truth can come through the heart with that Queen of Swords. Okay. And you're working really hard. You're building strong foundations through this. You're building very strong foundations. By doing so, your work through the heart will build a beautiful foundation for the masculine. The masculine are working very hard at this. What else? Oh gosh, nice energy. Queen of Coins energy. So this makes sense, you know, the Queen of Coins energy is very very nurturing, motherly. It's very motherly. She is comforting. She is stable, emotionally stable. There's a lot of emotional stability, really knows how to balance her balance the not the emotions, but really find that that stable energy of being grounded. And you see how her forehead is lit up here, with the intuition. And you know, Queen of Cups is usually is intuition, but I'm feeling like in this card in particular, though, that is going to be highlighted here because you're working through the heart. The communication for the masculine, communication from the masculine, because you're working with your heart energies, is going to strengthen your intuitive gifts. And so what you're working very hard on, your communication with the divine, is going to be strengthened. All of the divine masculine are really strengthening their divine connection right now, so that their intuition is stronger. The third eye starts to open up. And also I love that, you know, this energy is just very abundant, fertile. Like look at all the greens. You just think of Mother Earth. She's got a big pentacle behind her. So working on your pentacles to have this kind of throne energy right here. Lovely, beautiful, beautiful divine masculine. Okay, what else do the divine masculine need to know? What else do the divine masculine need to know for the communication timeline? For this communication timeline, what did the divine masculine? Love it. Ace of Swords. New truths, new clarity, new projects, really opening up a new door for the masculine here in your own truth. I love that this card came through on the communication timeline. I am loving it. Like, this timeline that the masculine are working on is all about communicating their truth. And I mean, it was said in that card. It was, so these cards are really reflecting that. And through really strengthening your communication with the divine and putting in the work to really kind of let go of the need to logically think through everything, you're actually going to come through with what, you know, the mental clarity. You're going to have the mental clarity. Isn't that so interesting that through working the heart, the mental clarity comes through, the understanding, the ideas that you need really become crystal clear here. And it's because you're working through the heart, not just the mind. I love that. What a beautiful timeline for the masculine. So, so we have here for the divine feminine, we have them in this transition phase, which, you know, for the hanging man to come up on the transition is just like, you can't even make this stuff up. But the feminine are also on a very positive timeline here, balancing things on the earthly plane. I'm feeling like it might be health related, but also balancing the earth energies, balancing the energies of the feminine here on earth, for this transition of the feminine, for allowance, surrendering on this. Look at this hangman, just surrendering here, letting go, knowing you are supported. Very important for the feminine energies to know you are supported, and it has a very, very positive effect. This is very positive work that the divine feminine are doing on this timeline. It just doesn't feel like it because the work is heavy. The work is leaving the feminine feeling a little exhausted, I just heard, and a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, vulnerable. Okay, let's take a look at the potential timeline. Isn't that so fun? I love this. I love this spread. So for the divine feminine, working on the belief the belief timeline here. What does the divine feminine need to know? So this is all about believing in yourself to really harness the gifts and talents that you've been given so that you have that, you build that strong connection to source. So for this timeline, what does this timeline look like? What are we dealing with for the divine feminine? Releasing energy here, releasing the mental conflicts, the fighting, releasing. Swords represent ideas, our beliefs, releasing the beliefs that we're in conflict with. Sometimes our beliefs, well, not sometimes, they do. Our beliefs shift, change, transmute, transition as we go through our journey. And the beliefs that no longer serve us get released. And so I'm feeling like this is representing the beliefs that are no longer serving us. The feminine are working to release those so that they can harness their true potential, the true gifts that they were divinely given here for this time. What else does this timeline look like? What other information do the divine feminine need to know? Two cards came out. Oh, I love it. Okay, we first have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving gift offer, very stable energy though, very stable energy. But it came out with the Empress. And oh, I love the Empress. Really my favorite card in the whole deck. And this is, the Empress really does represent the true essence of the divine feminine. And because these two came out together, you know, the energy is very similar. Look, okay, I'm being told to point out the winter scene behind her. That through this winter season, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, this winter season is really a time to where the divine feminine really come into this beautiful Empress energy. And it's because you're releasing the gifts that no longer, the beliefs that no longer serve you. And perhaps this Knight of Pentacles let me just, something's coming in here and I just want to make sure that I communicate it properly. It's about, okay, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay. This Knight of Pentacles represents the gifts of the earthly plane, the gifts of the 3D, basically, which, you know, perfectly fine. There's a great abundance in the 3D plane that we can have and we deserve. However, because this timeline is all about tapping into the gifts and talents that connect us to source, we are realizing that the gifts that we have here in 3D, the abundance that we have here in 3D, pales in comparison to the abundance that we get when we're connected with source. And so it's a realization. You see how the stars have like lit up here, the intuition, the understanding of the divine feminine, of knowing that her strength really does come through this connection to source, and that her abundance, she's a very fertile, she doesn't need the gifts to come in. She doesn't need to be given gifts. She doesn't need to necessarily always have the 3D gifts to have the abundance that is eternal, that is of the abundance of source. And it's letting go of those old beliefs that maybe that you needed something outside of you. You needed something outside of you to make you whole and complete. And knowing that your self-worth is not dependent on these things, but dependent on the connection to the divine is what and I'm going to just put that there because we like her to be front and center. So let's find out too, what else do you want to tell us about this timeline that the divine feminine have the potential of being in right now? Oh, sorry, lost a ton of cards here. Okay. What else do you want to tell us for the divine feminine? And I can't wait to get to the divine masculine, that romantic love. Oh my goodness. I tell you, you can't make this stuff up. The Hangman in reverse. Coming out of the transition here. Coming out of this timeline. So this is a timeline that you can jump into from here. This is a higher timeline that you get to through moving through this transition. You release the transition. The enlightenment comes in. The enlightenment comes in that you need to have to know your worth, to know your divine purpose here at this time, as for the divine feminine and the healing. And it revolves around releasing these beliefs that were holding you back, these beliefs that perhaps served you in your younger years, but in this current time that we're in no longer serve you and have held you back. And you let those beliefs go and know that there's nothing outside of you that gives you this energy. There's nothing outside of you that gives you this energy. You create this energy from your connection to source and knowing the true gifts that you have. And this enlightenment comes from the transition time from here. Wow. Oh my gosh, I have chills. I have absolute chills right now. Okay, let's find out for the masculine, the divine masculine on the romantic love. I'm going to point something out to you guys in a second. Okay, I just noticed. Okay, for the divine masculine, what do they need to know about this romantic love timeline that they're on? This romantic love timeline, what do they need to know about it on harnessing the conscious awareness through their ability to love, to be intimate, this conscious awareness that they're bringing in? Oh my goodness. Four of Wands, total union. Oh my gosh, this is like happy home, happy marriage, happy life. Like this is the energy that the masculine will be working with on this timeline. Really create, okay, the Four of Wands, it's all about stability, creating that stability within the home, creating that stability within the relationship, creating that stability for self. It is a celebration. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is great. Oh my gosh, guys, the sun just came out for the masculine. Super timeline here, guys. Super timeline for the masculine. Like, who doesn't want some romantic love timeline in their life right now? I know I do. And again, please understand this is not gender-based. This is energetic-based. Regardless if you are male or female right now and watching this, you actually gain insight into both readings for the masculine and the feminine, because you get to understand what's going on in your own masculine energy and you get to understand what's going on in your own feminine energy. So very important to understand this. Now, it's definitely looking like this is the higher timeline here, this for both the masculine and feminine. But both are great timelines right now. We are on amazing timelines for the divine masculine and divine feminine. Ace of Wands, rebirth, creation, oh my gosh, new passion. What is going on with this timeline? It is amazing. Oh my goodness. Masculine, you are doing beautiful energy. The masculine energy is doing beautiful things on this timeline. Wow. Wow. Four of Swords, going within. Four of Swords, rest, recovery, meditation. Also part of that timeline. I don't even need to clarify any of these cards. Usually I would clarify them, but I don't even need to clarify them. Like, I totally see what's going on here. Wow. Okay. So for the masculine, we have this beautiful, beautiful timeline of stability through union, stability through celebration. The sun comes in to let us know, just like in this timeline down here, that everything is aligned, that everything has aligned for the masculine for this timeline, that the timing is very divine, and that the support of the universe is with the divine masculine at this time. And it's, they want me to do that. The conscious awareness comes from going within. The conscious awareness comes from going into meditation, being reflective, connecting with your passion, connecting with the passion of the divine. Wands energy is very much spiritual energy. It's the fire, it's the passion, it's the birthing of something very new and beautiful for the masculine on this timeline. I don't even it's just so obvious. Wow. Okay. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to I'm going to ask my crystal cards for some advice for each timeline so we can understand what's going on and how to perhaps jump into a timeline if you want to do that. If you're interested in jumping into a different timeline than the one that you're currently on and you want to move into this timeline, know that the work has to come through this first. Let me just put some cards here. Let's just get to this. Okay. Ooh. Gift of love for the feminine. Pink tourmaline. Yes. Yes. Surrender. The pink energy is very, to me, it's just, surrendering is a gift of love. Surrendering your energy, moving into that surrender energy is such a gift of love for the feminine. Feminine aspects of us all, masculine and feminine, okay? So male and female. The gift of love is an absolute gift from surrendering your energies, from being in surrender to positive. And this is kind of telling me that for all of the, if you're working with the feminine energy right now, for the divine feminine, working with the pink ray is going to be very helpful in this, which, you know, the pink ray, especially here with this Page of Wands energy, where you're feeling like this reverse Page of Wands energy, where you're feeling like really heavy. This is very supportive, very nurturing, kind of like sweet grandmother energy. Pink tourmaline is what it's like that, you know, grandmother makes everything better. It's just, everything's just sweet and kind and compassionate. And I'm feeling like that is something to be aware of in this timeline. So using the pink ray to assist you in feeling the support if you're feeling really heavy through this transition time, even though it's super positive things are coming, major blessings, because look what timeline you get to jump into when you 0 point through this and into that. Excuse me. Let's find out for the Divine Masculine what advice the Divine Masculine has from the crystal cards for this timeline, for the communication timeline, for the Divine Masculine. New vision. Sodalite. Yes, seeing things. Look at that new vision. Look at that new vision through the Queen of Cups here. Sorry, the Queen of Coins. With the intuition. New visions coming in for the masculine. They're communicating in different ways, in new ways, and they're receiving a new truth about themselves. Working very hard to receive this new vision. So, for the masculine, really allowing yourselves to see things in a different light, to see things in new ways. New vision also represents like that new truth that is definitely coming in. Okay, for the Divine Feminine, on the belief timeline, what advice do you have for the belief timeline for the Divine Feminine? Whoa, oneness, Herkimer Diamond. Yes. Because you are working with the one creator source energy. You are creating that oneness within you, the Empress energy. So working with Herkimer Diamond might be something for the Divine Feminine in this timeline, but also understanding that dropping the old beliefs that we're not one, but not just one, meaning it's very important for the Divine Feminine right now, for the collective, and I say this, I mean for the collective, to understand that the oneness doesn't mean eliminating masculine and feminine energies. It means harmonizing the masculine energies into union, oneness, very important here. Beautiful. So focusing on this energy will allow you to really maintain this timeline once you get in it. Okay, once you enter this timeline for the Divine Feminine, focusing on the oneness energy, that connection to source, that everything is one, that you are a reflection of all that is. Okay, and let's find out what's going on with the Divine Masculine for the romantic love timeline. Oh, we got 2 here. Wow. Okay. Physical radiance, life changes, sulfur and zircon. These are really emulating that sun energy, right? Like, and these two really emulate these 2 cards, like right there. Like if you look at the color scheme, physical radiance through the sun is masculine energy. The sun is, you know, the moon is the feminine, the sun is the masculine. But the physical radiance, like through your conscious awareness, through romantic love, through the intimate connection for the masculine in this timeline, you are going to radiate that through your physical being. Like when we really bring this masculine energy into this, allowing our masculine energy to really move into this romantic timeline, physically we radiate. Physically we radiate. Let me just put that right there. And it creates changes. It creates changes within us on all levels in our life. On all levels in our life. It's not just about the relationship that we have with our partner. It's the relationship that we have with source. It's the relationship that we have with ourselves. It creates all the life changes necessary to take that harmony and that intimate connection and bring it into all aspects of your life. So working with those two is very important. It's not going to stay. Let's just throw that over there. So guys, this is my reading for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine timeline. This is, you have the current timeline, the potential timeline that you can jump into. You can zero point the energy. You can zero point the energy by working with this timeline and understanding. See, when you zero point the energy, one of the ways to zero point the energy is to obviously come into gratitude for the blessings. And when you, how you come into gratitude for the blessings is to see the blessings here, and we see what the blessings are in these timelines so that you can zero point them and jump into this higher timeline right now. It's nice that the cards were showing us a higher timeline to work with and not a timeline that we might slip into. I'm really appreciative of that. And you know, it's there's so much work to be done, and my deepest gratitude to all of you, the feminine and the masculine, for doing the energy for the collective right now, to help raise the collective energy, to bring awareness into the collective energy on these matters. And I just love it. Guys, if you want your own timeline reading, I'm doing like a 2019 timeline reading until the end of December. It's on my website. I've got all the information in the description below if you want your own tarot reading, like timeline reading. You can also just get a general reading if you've got a question, like wondering what timeline you're on with a certain situation, relationship, part of your soul journey, whatever it is that you want information on. I'm happy to do that. I'm just loving that my guidance came through to do this spread and create this spread, because it's just so much fun. I love it. And it just really provides some cool insight in a different format. And yeah, that's it, guys. So this is my timeline for the Divine Masculine and Feminine. I might actually make this a reading that I do from time to time, and not like necessarily a monthly reading, but when I feel called to. And I'd love to know what you guys think of it. And if you guys have your own insight to add to this timeline reading, if you've got your own wisdom to share, please do in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I know others would love to hear from you. I'd love to create a community within the comments. And that's it, guys. That's it. So I'm going to be putting out all my energy readings very soon for December. The crystal card reading for December, and also the tarot readings for the first half. That's going to be coming out by the end of this week. So look out for that. And I love you all. This is so much fun. It's such a pleasure to do this for you all. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think you can tell I enjoyed it. I just get so excited sometimes. All right, everyone. I love you all. Mwah. Have a wonderful day, and I will be back with you guys soon.